Welcome to part 1 of the video tutorial for how to make an OAP, Outcome Assessment Plan, in WIDS from start to finish. Doing an OAP in WIDS is actually quite easy with what your program plans are on how you hope to make improvements to your assessments for student success. So we have to navigate to the homepage of WIDS, and we also need to make sure that you are the developer on a program file. So down here in my curriculum projects, I have 4 different programs that I'm a developer of. If you are not a developer, that is a certain role that you need to be given, and you need to contact CETL support. Otherwise, you will not be able to edit this program file and make those outcome assessment plans. I've created a test program file that I'm going to click on, and then we're going to go into Program Assessment Plans, this tab up here. Now, I already have 2 ongoing outcome assessment plans, OAPs. This is a list of them, and they're both in a planning stage, but I can edit and add another one at any time. So up here, you're going to stay in edit mode, and we're going to be going tab by tab. Now, you can save often, and I do recommend doing so in WIDS, but this is actually fairly quickly and easy. I can write one targeted OAP plan within minutes here. So we're going to add a new one. We're going to go tab by tab, like I said. This list is just where you add the title, essentially, of the plan. So we're going to add a new one, and we're going to give it a title, and we're going to make it Program Outcome Number 3, which is apply Spanish language skills to perform job-related tasks in technical and service-oriented fields. And I'm going to save that. And really, again, this is the only thing I can do is modify or edit the titles in this list. Let's go to the next tab, and let's select that brand new one that we just created. And now in this tab with the info regarding this brand new OAP, I can give it a start and end date. So let's start with today's date, and let's make it to the end of assessment day this year. And let's keep it in a planning stage for right now. But I could come back to this and analyze it at a later date, and then I could also close it if this plan were met, and then I can archive it. So that's really all we do in the second tab. We give it a date range. We can modify that date range if need be, where I could extend it if it's going to be ongoing. And then I can also put it in a different state or stage. So let's save that, and next let's go to the OAP plan itself. Now this is the bulk of what's going to take the time here. We're going to be going column by column, and we're going to add an assessment that's oriented and related to the title of this program outcome. So I'm going to click on Add Assessment, and now it's going to bring up all of those columns that I will have to go one by one. If I do hit save, it's going to go out of this area, so I don't want to do that. I do not have a PAT, but I do have an assessment title here. If I had any performance assessment tasks saved on this program file, I would be able to do that. So Workplace Spanish Simulation is the name of this assessment, and I'll go to the next. The level of assessment isn't required to be entered in here, but most of our assessment plans are going to be high level of assessment because we're really looking at improving those summative level, high level assessments that are tied to program-wide outcomes or our college-wide core abilities as well. The outcome assessment measurement tool is what I'm going to use to measure the success of this given assessment. And I have a rubric that is used to measure and evaluate the level of mastery for the students. Benchmark for success is what I aspire all the students to obtain, whether it's an academic-oriented score. It has to have a metric or value tied to it. So maybe it's the rate of submission, or it's how many students have submitted this that I can track. Maybe it's the number of emails that I've received with questions regarding this assessment, and I want that to reduce to even 0. But here is what I have added as a benchmark. So 100% of my students will perform at 80% or higher on this rubric and assessment with further integration of practice and scaffolding. So the time frame here, it's usually from one academic year to the other, but it could be in a specific semester if this course is only offered at that time frame as well. So here is my specific time frame where students will likely be taking this assessment within that time frame, and I can see if my intervention and targeted plans have helped at that time. Who is responsible is the individual, myself, or whoever's the lead on the program, or whoever also teaches that course could be the case as well. This is tied to program outcome number 3, but I can select as many of these as I'd like. But very specifically, this is for job-related tasks in technical and service-oriented fields. And then this is the course that they'll be doing that in, the assessment. And so I have this course in the program sequence of courses within this file. And then lastly, any documentation, it's not required, but things that I could add here would be that assessment rubric perhaps, or I could show examples of what kind of practice and scaffolding I'm going to be adding to ensure that students meet this benchmark for success. And when I hit save, it now fills in all of those areas for the OAP plan. I save and close, and that OAP is now created and done for the year up until that I go in and analyze it, which will be part 2 of this video for you.